Hi, Alicia and class. This is Jerry. I thought I'd take a couple of minutes and make a quick video on how to edit for light and do a few tweaks to make this an even stronger image. I like this one very much. You have a good eye, Alicia. The repetition of the columns as they march backward and the foreshortening from your telephoto lens it makes this really a strong shot. I don't see any extraneous details that are distracting, and it's just nice and clean and simple and straightforward, and for all those reasons it's very good. So anyway, why don't we do a couple of things to make it even stronger. One thing I'm going to do is straighten these lines. You see how as they go away from us here, they start to tilt inward? That's an easy quick fix. And then also on this side of the frame, you see how it's where the light is gathered, and what I want to do is bring our eye back towards the center of the frame by darkening that area and just adding just a little bit of light. Very small changes, but you'll see what a big difference it can make. So here we go. I'm going to select all with a control, select all, control A, and then edit free transform, or control T right here, free transform, control T. And to make life even easier, although I don't really need it because the edge of the frame is here, I can notice my rulers are out, and that's view show rulers, or control R. And I'm just going to drag a line out here, and this guideline will be what I'm going to align your columns to. And free transform will stretch and skew the picture either vertically or horizontally, or if you grab a corner it'll grow it or shrink it. And if you hold down the control key, then we get into this little triangle here, and it allows me to skew the image, and that's what I'm doing. I'm just taking that and pulling it a little bit in that direction. Hitting enter and deselecting, and I'll move back the guideline here. Okay, next I want to darken this area and bring a tiny bit of light into the center. I'm going to take my lasso tool and just do a broad selection through this side of the frame. And rather than just lighten it with that selection, I need to feather, we call it feathering out, or blending out this selection so it blends nicely. So we click Refine Edge. It's a property of the lasso tool. And the amount of feathering determines how harsh the transition line is between the selection. So the less pixels you feather, the harder the transition is, and the softer it is. So I'm going to leave it somewhat soft. 96 pixels is fine. And next I like to use, when I'm darkening bright areas, image, adjustment, brightness, contrast. And here we have, I'm just bringing this onto the screen so you can see what I'm doing. As I dial back the brightness, it doesn't raise the contrast, which is a nice thing. When I brighten areas, I like to use levels because it tends to raise the contrast and I have a little more control. But when I darken areas, I use brightness, contrast. Also, it got a little bit saturated, so image adjustment, hue saturation, and I'm going to desaturate a little bit by dialing this back. There we go. I could even tweak a little more lightness down there. Okay, I'm satisfied with that. Deselect, control D, or select, deselect right here. Okay. Once again, I'm going to grab the lasso and I'm just going to say, well, okay, let's bring our eye more towards the center here. And same deal, refine edge. I'm going to go with the 96 that I chose before, and this time I'm using levels. Not going to do much, just a tiny tweak here. The highlights are already there with the edge. This histogram shows me all the shadows, midtones up to the highlight area, and you have a nice full range in here. If there was space to the right more, I would dial in this highlight shadow more. So I'm just going to do it a tiny bit, and then my mids just a tiny bit, not much. Okay, and then one last thing is to vignette the outer edges just a little bit. I'm going to take the circle mark key, holding Alt, and pull out an oval like this. And again, let me see here. I want to select inverse. And we should be able to, refine edge, feather it. Oops, same idea here. I'm just dialing in a feathered amount so that it kind of blends nicely here. And I could use levels. Yeah, why don't I use levels? Shortcut for that is Control L. I like shortcuts a lot when I'm working along here. And I'm just going to dial the midpoint down a little bit. Yeah, maybe I did it too much, maybe not. I'm going to leave it alone. Also got a little orange on me, so I'm going to desaturate that. Control U is the shortcut, or image adjustment, hue saturation, and dial that back. Control D to deselect. Save it. File, save as, and choose JPEG always, and name it. And know where you're putting it also. I just happen to have this directory called My Pictures here open, so I'm saving it there. And that's part of the libraries. It makes it easy to find and get to it. I'll save it at a 12 level, JPEG it, and excellent. So when I go to upload it, it's easy to find. It'll be under My Pictures, and there it is. Okay, see you on the blog.